You're watching Cheery TV.
Howdy everybody, and welcome back to Stranded Deep in Conversation. Today we have quite the actually interesting thing to talk about, at least interesting thing for me. This is, as you can already read by the title, we're going to be talking about Waldo, where he was, how I found him, and the whole story beyond that. But I hope you're doing well, hope your day is going great, and I hope by the time this is done, your day gets even better. So today I'm really excited to talk about this. I don't know why, but this just is such a cool opportunity that I didn't even know really existed until we found out. Basic, I guess, is all I can really say about that. So jump back in time with me, if you will, to July 1st, 2024, just last month, literally a month ago. Me and my sister, it was a Monday, we were just walking around our town, just kind of, enjoying the day off, because we both had the day off, so we were just chilling, we were enjoying ourselves. We were like, let's go outside, let's go to some places we have to go to, and one of the places we have to go to is a local bookstore in the area, because my sister loves to read. I'm okay with reading. I know how to do it, that's about the extent that I go with, but we went to this bookstore, and we saw in the sign, in the window, a bunch of Where's Waldo stuff. So we were like, did they release a new Waldo book? What's going on here? This is crazy. This is pretty cool. Let's go. We were going in there anyway. Let's check out this Waldo thing. And we open the door. We go inside. There is a table full to the brim with Waldo stuff. There's a huge Waldo. There's a little Waldo. There's a fucking suit of armor, which isn't related to Waldo, but it's next to the Waldo stuff, so you're like, oh, that's cool, maybe Waldo's in there. Who knows? Waldo could do anything with his life. He could be a knight. He's cool. And so we look in the store, and we see on the table all these Waldo books, and on there is also a sign that says, hey, we are doing a sort of like a event around here where it's kind of like a shopping local incentive. So, hidden in 23 stores in our city, or our town, I should say, not city, in our town, would be a little Waldo. Just a tiny little Waldo dude. And it said to go to the front to find out more information. We're like, fuck yeah, we're going to find out more information. And basically, it's a scavenger hunt, which is so fucking cool. And so yeah, in 23 stores around the area, there is a Waldo. It's like a few inches tall, hiding somewhere in the store. We tell the owner about if we found him. If we do, we mark this little piece of paper that they gave us, and then we move on to the next one. If we find a certain amount, we get a little reward. We find them all, we have a chance to get an even bigger reward, which is just really cool. It's it's a really cool little incentive thing, and it just seemed like fun. And of course, we had to start at the bookstore because we were already there, and that was one of the locations on the list. So we're like, hey, let's find this thing. And this started a saga that lasted up until the 27th, so last Saturday. For that entire month, there were, I say the entire month, for 4 outings on this month, we scouted and hunted and bought stuff at 23 different businesses, all in the name of shopping local, but also, mainly to find Waldo, because that seems like a fun idea. And of course, it was me and my sister, and they were super into the idea. So it was the two of us just hunting around for Waldo. And so store one is obviously the bookstore. I'm gonna go in order of every store that we went to. I actually kept a pretty decent track of the timeline. I also took pictures. So hey, you guys get to see some pictures. So store one had 2 things actually in the store because it was the main store. It's kind of like the hub of the event for our city, for our town. I don't know what the fuck to call it. Sue me. There was a Waldo. And there was a medal of Waldo. And, we just took like our basic glances around the store. My sister got a couple books, and we just wanted to kind of, look around, see if we could find Waldo. And lo and behold, folks, we found our first Waldo. It was the Waldo medal. It was just hanging around Big Bird's neck, and I'm just gonna say it, I've never felt cooler in my entire life than finding that little Waldo medal. It was incredibly obvious, but I only found it towards the end. It was kind of by the children's section of the store. And as you can see from the picture, 1976 Big Bird, that thing's been around for a long time. But yeah, we found Waldo at the store. And at that point, actually, we didn't know there was two. We went to the things and we found Waldo, and they found from the medal. They gave us our little pamphlet, our passport, if you will. And they stamp one spot, and we're like, oh, there's also a Waldo in here? But we already did what we came here to do. We got our books and stuff. But okay, well, you know what? While the day is good, let's get some more shopping on, shall we? Because there were still a few more stores we wanted to kind of peruse for the day. So we were like, hey, let's do it. Let's have a good old time. And so our next stop was at a vintage store. It is a very, very unique store. There's a lot of there's a whole little section dedicated to like plague masks and like witchcraft and stuff. There's like sections dedicated to like a bunch of stuff, and a lot of it is very old, or at least vintage, retro-y sort of stuff. A lot of just really cool, interesting things. And we looked around the entire first floor of this building, and we found jack diddly shit. Because the second floor is a bit smaller, so we wanted to start with where we were at first, the big first floor. We hunted around every damn corner, and we didn't find a single thing. We spent quite a while in this store, because it's such a big open store with a lot of little nooks and crannies where Waldo could have been hiding. And we were like, how the fuck haven't we found Waldo yet? It's been like 20 minutes. Where's Waldo? This is ridiculous. It's like, that's the name of the book, of course. Because you can't fucking find him. He's gone. He's everywhere. And so at that point, after looking at a bunch of stuff, we're like, okay, let's go check out the second floor, I guess. And on the staircase to the second floor was our second Waldo of the event. It was kind of just on a shelf on the staircase, not even hiding, not even close to hiding. He's just there. So we're like, oh, great, we found him. And it was just we felt really stupid, because if we just did a basic look around the store, the entire store, and then went to the nooks and crannies, would have found him immediately. Would have found him like that. But we were pretty happy, because we've been to that store before. Is what I'm trying to say. We love going through that store. It's a very nice store. So even after we found Waldo, we kept going up the second floor. We looked around some more stuff, and we had a good time just in that store. I had bought a pretty cool letter opener. I think I have it somewhere in here. Yes, right here. If you guys don't see this, maybe I'll take a picture. I probably won't. I will. So here it is. There's the sword letter opener. It's pretty cool. Actually, super cool. I'm really happy with it. It wasn't too expensive. It was cool. It was a nice little memento of this store. And I've bought stuff here before, so I wasn't too worried about it, because there were a couple of ground rules that I set for this. I wanted to go to every store. I wanted to find every Waldo, and I also wanted to buy something from every store, because the whole point was to shop local, and I didn't want to just go into a store, say, hey, I found Waldo, and then leave. I feel like that was a little rude to the store, so I wanted to try to get something from everywhere, even if it was only something small. At least I was still trying to support them, as they were supporting me and having a really fun time with my sister, so it was nice. And I kind of felt a little bad, because the employee there was really, really happy, and that we were just looking around, because they were like, oh, dude, I'm the same way. I'm the same exact way. I go here and I look around every little thing. I spend hours in a store like this, and we've done that before. But this is the first time that we saw this employee, and then after this nice conversation, we're like, hey, I also found Waldo, and they didn't turn off their smile, but clearly they were like, oh, you're just here for Waldo. Okay. I thought we were friends now, but it's fine. And I felt really bad. I felt bad. But we have gone to that store since then, and it's a very nice store. I'm not naming names, because it's kind of like the area we live near, and I'm, again, pretty private person with that. But then we move on to store number 3, which is a cafe. And this is a cafe that we've we've since visited a lot more frequently, but it was one of the first few times we went there because my sister just wanted to go there. She loves a good cafe, and she loves to they love to find a really nice cafe. And so it was a really small place, and it took me quite a minute to actually find this fucking thing, because I'm looking in every obvious spot that I can think of. I'm looking near the windows, I'm looking near like the little sit-down section, the little game spot, looking at all the shelves and everything. I'm looking everywhere in this tiny-ass place for something that should have been incredibly obvious. I'm looking for minutes, at least a few minutes, and I find nothing. I eventually go into the bathroom because I'm like, maybe they put them in the bathroom because they're just that insane. Still found nothing, unsurprisingly. I contemplated thinking that somebody stole it. I thought someone would have just took it because it's just gone, and I'm like, man, I feel so stupid. But as I'm leaving the bathroom, I notice something on the window. And it is our third Waldo of the day, and I just felt so fucking stupid. He's it's not like he's obvious there, but like, come on, windowsill next to all the plants should have been obvious in hindsight, which I feel dumb for not thinking of. But hey, you know, what are you gonna do? Sue me. If you want to sue me, you can sue me. I don't think it's possible, but you can try. But yeah, he was just hiding in a plant. Super obvious, super basic, and quite the theme, if I'm gonna be honest. I don't know, it's not for everywhere, but for some other stores here, to spoiler alert it, some plants are involved. But yeah, so we found Waldo. We ordered a very, very tasty and delicious breakfast meal for lunch. It was so good. It was like a, I don't know how to describe it. I didn't take a picture. I'm not good at taking pictures of things. The only thing, I made sure to take pictures of Waldo because I wanted to remember the Waldo story, but the stuff I bought kind of just came and went. But this thing was really good. It was like a pancake wrap thing with like a bunch of like sausage, egg. It was like a breakfast in a wrap, but like the wrap is a pancake and it's massive. It's fucking huge. It was delicious. It was one of the best things I've eaten from a cafe. Wish I had a picture, but I don't, so it's whatever, I guess. Next up, store number 4. This place is actually really cool. It is like a home decor store with 4 different rooms. This place was massive. It was a very big place, and each room had smaller and more attentive details than the next. It was a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff to look around. And it was just kind of crazy. It was a lot. And as we're hunting up like the first room, I think of a strategy. I think of some sort of ground rules for what I imagine they would do with Waldo. A, this is for children. It's going to be pretty obvious. Like, I know I'm going to want to start looking in every little corner, every little smudge. It's probably going to be very obvious. So you shouldn't go too crazy. It's not going to be super high. It's not going to be super behind something. It's going to be wherever it may be. And number 2, I imagine that they would put it more into the store. So like if there's 4 rooms, it's probably at least past the first room, because they want people to look around the store, and maybe their parents will buy something while they're looking for Waldo. You know, they want people to go into their store and see what they have to offer, right? That's what I'm imagining, because again, the whole point is to shop local. You want to shop local. So I figured it's probably going to be an obvious spot in a later room. So I immediately go from the first room to the last room, and I start working my way down, while I'll bubble back up while my sister works their way down into the place. And again, I look around this room, find nothing. I go to the third room of the 4, find nothing. If I meet my sister in the second room, we find nothing. We look, and this turns out to be a pretty common theme for a lot of these stores. But we look up and down every room for like 20 minutes. We spend so long looking for this damn Waldo, and eventually I start throwing my idea of the easy spots out the window. I start looking behind fucking fixtures in the building, and I cannot find this Waldo to save my life. And then my sister points out something in the second room, might I add. Quite possibly the most obvious Waldo known to man, just sitting on a table. I don't even know how we missed it. I don't understand how we missed it. It was just kind of sad. I feel so stupid. I still feel stupid thinking about it. I felt stupid then. I feel stupid thinking about it even now. But you know what I don't feel stupid about? The thing I bought from this store. Because in that last room, the one where I immediately went to go search in, was a lot of the stuff I like in stores. Just stupid little knickknacks, stupid little fun things, just the smaller stuff, not like a vase or whatever. This was a bunch of dumb shit. And on one of the shelves, like a pretty high shelf, was a lot of like collectible cups. And I need to show you this. I'm gonna have to take another picture. Look at this beautiful man standing in front of you. This is a McDonald's Grimace Cup Collector Series. I don't know what year or what time or whatever. I don't care that it's a McDonald's. There were a bunch of McDonald's collectible cups on that shelf. I do not care about a single other one but this Grimace one. Because look at him. He's so stupid. Look at it. It's amazing. It's literally like, I think, my favorite cup that I own at this very moment in my life. It's so fucking funny. I love it. It's just awesome. And going up to ring it up, the person in front in the register had no idea what the fuck this character even was. They thought it was a Smurf. They thought it was something out of the Smurf series, which also, to spoil a little bit of this story afterwards, I stopped by my work, and I showed them Mr. Grimace Cup, and they were like, "Oh, who is that?" I don't know. And we're like, "Well, one of the people at the store we got it from thought it was from the Smurfs," and they're like, "Oh, yeah, the Smurf. It's a Smurf, isn't it?" I'm like, "No, it's not. It says his name right there. It's Grimace." But it was funny. It was good. But one of the best things ever happened after that. They told me that usually, whenever someone finds the Waldo, apparently this isn't the first year they've done this, whenever someone finds the Waldo, they get to hide it themselves. So that they can hide the Waldo for the next person to find, which I was so excited. I was freaking my lid. And let me tell you, I found a pretty solid spot to put him in. I put this bitch facing a mirror, and there it is. You can see me being like, "Oh wow, what a good spot." I put him in front of a mirror, so you couldn't see him from the front, but if you looked into the mirror, you would see him. I thought that was really cool. I thought that was a fun little idea. And then I show the worker. They say it's really clever, it's really cool. They liked it. They kept it. It was awesome. It was it was really fucking cool. It was a great day. And that actually concluded the first day, because if you couldn't tell, we spent a lot of time in each of these stores looking for Waldo. We spent at least 20 minutes in most, if not all, 4 spots. It was crazy. So we spent a long time looking around these stores, just 3 or 4 stores. So we figured, let's call it there, and let's save it for another day, which was actually only 3 days later, July 4th, Independence Day. We were both off again, and we had a mission, and that was to go to some stores and look for some Waldo. Wait, no, I wasn't off this day, but we went before I went to work, because I work kind of close by. So we went to quite a few more stores this time around, but we started at Stop 5, which was another cafe that was on the list, the second of the two cafes on the list. And this one we frequented a lot more before than just today, and then we've been to this one more. This is a more frequented one from us, and it was a pretty obvious spot for Waldo. Man was just chilling with the cream cheese right in front of the store. A very easy start to the day, and it was just a really nice time. It's always very pleasant. The people there are very, very nice. And actually, I got a breakfast burrito, which I took a couple bites of, but then remembered that I should take a picture of it. And don't blame them if it looks a little dry or whatever. I like my food dry because I like to drench my mouth with water as I'm eating it. So, but this is very tasty. It was a nice breakfast burrito. It was delicious. I forgot to ask them to take the tomato out, so it was a little less than preferred, but it was still very, very tasty, very delicious food. I loved it. I still ate it all. It was very, very nice. And that moved on to store number 6, which was right next door, another store that we very frequently visit, the music store. Because I love music. I love looking at the instruments they have. I love looking at the music that they have. And my sister actually gave me their old record player, because they didn't have any records. So I was like, oh, dude, fuck yeah. So I've since before then I only looked at the CD section. Now I get to look at the vinyl section, which has a lot more of the stuff that I actually want to listen to, because a lot of it is like stuff that used to go on vinyl, like it came out on vinyl. Specifically Wings, actually. It's a side tangent. From this store, I've gotten every Wings album except for Red Rose Speedway. So I find that one. I've got and I guess one hand clapping, but that's still pretty new. So I'm probably gonna buy that eventually. I think once I find Red Rose Speedway, then I'll do it, or maybe I'll get that and then I'll find Red Rose Speedway online also. I don't know. I'll find out. Either way, I've gotten a lot of albums from this place. I love this place. It's pretty awesome. And quite similarly to the last store, they didn't make it that hard to find. It was in a display case on its own right when you got into the store. It was very, pretty obvious, to say the least. But I bought some, what? Oh, no, I'm right it wrong. Yeah, I bought a couple CDs. I got a couple Paul McCartney CDs, which I don't even know which ones I got. Oh, right, yeah, I got Flowers in the Dirt, and I got Back in the U.S. his U.S. tour. Pretty good stuff, pretty good. It's not his best work, but I just wanted it. I collect things, and I think a lot of Paul McCartney's music, I enjoy all of it, so I like collecting it and having it. I also got some new guitar picks, because I've been running pretty low on those, so now I have some extra guitar picks and stuff. It's great. Pretty nice, pretty good, pretty easy stop. I love looking around in there. And then stop number 7 hits, and it is a general store. This is just a basic store with a ton of stuff. Holy hell, a lot of it was very, very expensive. I don't understand why it was all so expensive. Like, they had, like, stickers, they were, like, $6. They had, like, a bunch of stuff. A whole plethora of little nooks and crannies with a bunch of stuff. And it took us quite a minute to actually find this fucking Waldo. We looked around the store. Again, the first 2 places were incredibly easy. We kind of got our hopes up. This place shot us back down to reality. It was an absolute nightmare trying to find this fucking Waldo. We did 3 full runs of the store, only to find Waldo in a corner with his head not even sticking out right by checkout, actually. So unless you turned around as you were leaving the store, as long as you checked out and you turned around, you'd probably find Waldo. But we didn't check out yet. We were still looking for Waldo first before we checked out, so we didn't fucking find him. And until, holy shit, I think my sister was like, oh my god, he's right there. And I looked kind of close to there, but I didn't fully look there because I was like, not there, pretty obviously. Let me keep looking around like an idiot. It was silly. It was but it was a really nice store, but a lot of just very silly things. And the Waldo just made me feel even sillier. Ultimately, I did get a couple stickers. I got like a sticker of like an anglerfish, but it's a toaster, and like it makes, I can't say how it makes sense, but it makes sense. And then I actually got I got a stupid little wooden goose. I'm not gonna take pictures of everything I got, because a lot of it's just like, I got like most of it I don't even remember where it is at this point. But I got a little wooden goose. He's cool. And then for free, actually, because I got the anglerfish toaster sticker, they gave me another sticker, which is like a narwhal in like a little plastic bag, like a goldfish would come in, and it's poking through the bag. I thought that was really cute, and I love that, so I got that for free, because they were like, oh, I love this guy's sticker style. You see anything else you like? And I saw that one. I was like, oh, that's cool, and he just threw it in the bag. I'm like, oh, thank you. Really nice. Again, that's one of the main reasons I love shopping locally, because everyone's just so nice, and sometimes they'll just be super nice like that guy was. It's great. It's really cool stuff. Store number 8 was, if I'm gonna be completely honest, the first miss for a store for me, because you can't like everywhere you go, you know. It's not in the cards. It's not in reality. It was a clothing store, but everything was made very like greenly and like environmentally aware and friendly, which is really good. Great stuff, great store, great premise. I like what they're doing, respect, but it was all way too expensive for my budget. Like a basic shirt with like maybe something on it. I didn't look at it for very long because it was $98. I'm like, who Spent on a button down maybe. That was a T-shirt, a $98 T-shirt. I'm not buying a $98 T-shirt. I don't care. I just like I hope someone does, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to be that guy. It was all very expensive, and eventually we found Waldo just chilling on the floor under some coats and stuff. And he was just kind of chilling there. Pretty cool dude. And I didn't want anything, if I'm being honest. Like, normally I bought something from every store so far, whether it was food or an item to remember to place by. I bought something. This store, I really wanted to buy something. I just couldn't. The price tag and everything was just too much. So after a few looks around, and I didn't even ask a person for the Waldo, like the signature. My sister did, because I felt upset and embarrassed just asking for the signature without buying anything, because I felt like it was just, I felt like I should, but I just couldn't. It wasn't. I don't know. I felt bad. I felt really bad. I didn't want anything. They got the signature for me after like 10 minutes of just wandering around, doing circles, acting stupid, feeling stupid, and we left the store without anything. And I felt so bad. I still feel bad, and I feel terrible. I want to go back there and like buy something, but I didn't. It's not even like I liked any of the clothes that were there, and everything was so expensive. So ultimately, we walked away with nothing. But I wanted to make sure I didn't do that with anywhere else. So then we had store number 9, which was a chocolate factory. Literally just well, not the factory itself. It was a chocolate store that was titled a chocolate factory, and it was an absolute delight. I love going in there. That place is always very, very nice. It's very cool. it's very cool. It's like, it was a very hot day. It was July 4th. It was very, very hot. And it was just, I was really excited to be in there because it was a nice, cool building. But also, I've been in there before. It's a really nice place. Lots of really good chocolate. Like, really good chocolate. Love that place. And Waldo was, it took me a minute to find. I think my sister ultimately found it. He was just chilling on a table with some American stuff and a bunch of stuff they were doing for like events, like promos and stuff for the holiday. It was nice. It was a really nice place to look around. I got some chocolate covered cashews for myself because those are delicious. I got my sister some chocolates, a little bag of chocolate things. They're again, fairly expensive, but it's really good chocolate. It's like nice chocolate, so of course it's gonna be pretty expensive. But I liked it. It was very good. I'm very happy with those. I actually kept those for when I had my Brooklyn trip a few days. Because if you notice, that was the 4th. We left on the 5th, so we wanted to get some like stores in before we had to go for a few days. And I kept those with me, and we ate them throughout the trip, and it was really nice. It was a very, very nice thing to just have at home to come back to, and be like, oh, I need to rest. Let me eat some chocolate-covered cashews. They're delicious. Absolutely amazing. Love that place. And next store number 10, we're already 10 in, we found a clothing store. And this one was nice. This was a nice, kind of more like bargain bin, sort of like just cheap, but also very nice clothes. Like they clearly marked stuff down a lot. I love that. I love that. That's why I like shopping at Goodwills and stuff. I'm a big fan of the cheaper clothing, especially if it's nice stuff that I want to actually wear. It's really nice. And the lady up front was really nice. It was just a really pleasant store. I got a couple really nice shirts. I got like a blue polo shirt. It's like a blue stripe, like horizontal stripes, like blue and light blue. Really pretty shirt. I love that shirt a lot. And I also got a button down with a bunch of like golf stuff on it. It was stupid, but it looked nice. Both shirts were like not even $10. It was really nice. It was a really nice store. And Waldo was just chilling by the like on a little stand on the window. Pretty easy. Pretty fun time. So, yeah, pretty easy store, pretty nice, very pleasant, always a good time over there. I want to go back there, actually. I haven't been there since, but it's a really nice store, and I'm sure they have more clothes. They didn't have any pants. They didn't have a whole lot of men's pants. They had a lot of men's shorts. They didn't have a lot of men's pants. I really wanted some new pants, but I couldn't get any new pants. But the shirt game was on point there. Store 11 was right. Sorry, I don't know why I did that. Well, I know I did that. My nose hurts for some reason. But yeah, Store 11 was right around the corner from this place. It was an ice cream place that, very similar to some of the stores in the beginning, didn't even try to hide Waldo. He's literally just standing there greeting the people as they came into the door. So it was pretty easy. It was a very, very, very solid place. And I'm not that big on ice cream, but I have been getting into cotton candy flavored ice cream because I don't know what it is, but I got that from a Cold Stone, and it was actually pretty good because I was like, I might as well get something while I'm here, and it was okay. So I got some of their cotton candy stuff, which is okay. I don't like ice cream all that much still, so it wasn't the best. I think the Cold Stone one was better. There were a bunch of weird little chunks in this. That's a common thing with a lot of cotton candy flavored ice cream. There's little chunks in it. I don't understand why. They make it, the texture, it throws me off, especially because I already am thrown off by texture of ice cream. It just kind of makes the experience a little bit worse for me. But the flavor is great. I love the flavor of cotton candy, so that makes it kind of balances it out. The Cold Stone one is just plain, just ice cream. So I don't know why I can't do it like that. But it was a good place. It was really nice. My sister got some like caramel hoopy blah 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 that they adored. They said it was really 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 good. So good place, good ice cream. No shade or shame to them. It was very good ice cream, all things considered. I'm not their preferred customer, I guess. And before we hit the last stop of the day, we actually made a pit stop in like an antique store with a bunch of crazy stuff for a bunch of crazy cheap ass prices. It was really freaking cool. I mean, I got a Journey CD for like $4, which was pretty happy. It's like I think it's just, I don't know. I don't honestly know. It's just got a bunch of songs on it that I like from Journey, so it's pretty good. I don't remember the name at all. But there was also a Kermit the Frog green machine little stuffed guy standing there for like $15 from like 19 something. Oh, I have it. I'm not gonna move him. I'm not gonna move him unless I'm not gonna take a picture. But he's really cool. Maybe if someone asks about it on stream or something, I'll talk about it. But it was very, very cool. And they had a bunch of really cool shit there. Very cheap stuff, very cool stuff, very interesting. We've been there since, and we've gotten more stuff from there. It's a really nice place. Very, very, very nice place. And that brought us to our last stop, which was a store right next to it, which is another antique store with more neat stuff. Some less neat stuff. Wasn't as good as the other place, I'm being honest, but there was a bunch of cool stuff, and ultimately, we found Waldo. He was hiding amongst the chickens, just kind of being Waldo, having a good time. It was really cool. I will say, the thing I bought from there was probably the most nostalgic, or like the most, one of the nicer things as of yet, which was a little Twigs, like a little Beanie Baby Twigs guy, like the tiny little orange giraffe dude. I haven't had him in years. I remember he was one of the first little stuffed animal guys I personally bought back when I was like young. And I got him and I lost him. And then years later I found him, I lost him, and now I found him again. And I think I've lost him. He's somewhere in the room, but I have no idea where. So he's just a little dude. And there was a second one there, so I got my sister one too because they also had a little Twigs. Fucking love that guy. He's like the sort of older model, so he's not exactly what I remember, but he's very, very cute, and it is him. So very happy. And so ends day 2 of our little Waldo experience, our little Waldo journey. We had just hit up half of the stores, over half. We went from hitting 4 to hitting 12, which is crazy. We found 8 more stores that day, and 12 out of 23. We only had 9 more to go. I think that's how math works. No, it's not. Yeah, 11. We had 11 more to go. 11. Yeah, I'm stupid. Still over half. That's all I meant to say. I just didn't know how to do math from there. I'm really dumb. Wow, look at me go. But yeah, so next day we do this is another Monday. It was July 15th. So a lot of time has passed since then. Almost 2 weeks passes, and we finally get back on the Waldo hunting train. Obviously, we had our little vacation, and then we just wanted to sort of chill out for a little bit. So we didn't go out. We kind of just did work. We went back to work, did some days of work, hung out at home, and then we moved on. We went back to our Waldo hunting a little bit later. So July 15th comes in, and we're like, you know what? Let's start somewhere that we know we like. We're going to go to. It's going to be a fun old time. It's a candy store. Now, we've actually been to before quite a lot. There's a lot of really fun, little quirky candy and stuff. They got a lot of fun stuff at that store. And we figured it'll be an easy. We go in there, we'll find Mr. Waldo and the candy. We come out, it'll be great. It was going to be an awesome time. Little did we know that we were stumbling into the raid boss of Where's Waldo hunting in this town. We were in there. Let me just give you a little bit of a layout of the room. Of the building. There were 3 rooms. There's the main room we walk into. If we walk further down, there's like a really long hallway with a bunch of like tiny candies you can put in bags and some sodas and stuff that are weird flavors. And then if you take a right, here's another door or another hallway that leads into a room with a bunch of like not candy, so like a bunch of like little toys and little like stuffed animals and stuff, really just fun stuff. It was a big store, pretty big place, but not like big. It was pretty all fairly small rooms. So you're like, oh, it's gonna be pretty easy. We spent at least 45 minutes in this one store alone. Just feeling so fucking stupid. It was absolutely terrible. We were looking up and down, couldn't find jack diddly shit. I found a couple things I wanted to buy, but other than that, we were fresh out of fucking hell. We were in a rough spot. To the point where I even went up to the person to buy a couple things, and then I brought up Waldo. I brought him up. I was like, oh yeah, we're just, hunting Waldo, looking around. We've been here before. We like it. We're going to do it. And they're like, oh, did you find him? I'm like, well, no, we haven't found him yet. And they're like, oh, and they gave us like a hint. They told us the room it was in, and they said to think of another fictional character, which ultimately led my sister to finding him, blending in with the Harry Potter Bots Bean things. I felt so stupid. One, because I had already looked around that section to no prevail, didn't find them. And I just felt so stupid. They used the stripes against us, which is next level shit. I cannot believe that I always kind of expected that to happen. Didn't think it would. Didn't see any stripes. Didn't realize that they were going that hardcore. They put them all the way in the back of the shelf. They put them behind the little stripe things. He blended in better than he should, and we both felt so stupid because there's so much shame, so much shame to that. It was very. We spent so much time in that store, and it was literally right there. That's usually how Waldo goes, though. Like, especially if you're writing a book, you look in a book, you're like, oh, where the fuck's Waldo? You spend 20 minutes looking, and he's right there. Of course, I'm so stupid. You really feel that looking for him in a bigger store, like it's like VR Where's Waldo books, and it's crazy. It's insane. Well, I guess in real life, Where's Waldo books. Online, I mentioned VR. I bought a couple of Matchbox puzzles, like the Wheel of Fortune one I did on the stream once, and some candy. Of course, it's a candy store, including actually those beans, because I felt that it was necessary after they defeated us so rawly. It's just, I felt so fucking stupid. Which then brought us to Shop 14, which is a pretty little small pharmacy sort of thing. I don't really know what else to call it. Well, I do know what else to call it, but my sister, because I refuse to call it whatever they want to call it. So it's a little pharmacy thing. They had some weird stuff on the shelves, a lot of really cheap stuff on the shelves. Just kind of just a general, it's kind of just like a little, like, hey, here's some stuff you might need, and then here's like a little section for the kids, and there's also, you get your prescriptions here. So it's kind of wacky. It was nice. I got like a little like pencil thing. I don't remember what it was called, but it's like a little pencil thing where, like, if you cut yourself, like if you're shaving or like something, I don't really know, you rub it on your skin or whatever, and it stops the bleeding, which is pretty cool. It was only like $1 or something. So I was like, hey, fuck it, yeah, I mean, that's cool. And I did find Waldo, because they didn't make it very hard to find. He's just standing there greeting the people. He's a people's place here, Mr. Waldo is. And yeah, look at him. He's just a dude. He's just kind of standing there, I mean, he was literally basically right in front of the store. Very easy. Thank God we needed a break after the fucking candy store. It was a nightmare, dude, let me tell you. But this moves us on to Shop 15. That one was one pretty quick donezo. We just looked around for a little bit, got like some small stuff. Nothing crazy. My sister bought some stuff too, but I don't remember what they bought, so I'm not going to tell you. Store 15. A soap store. Like literally just dedicated to soap
and all things that smell nice. And let me tell you, you walk in there and you understand, well, that they're not playing around. They got some soaps. They got some smells. The place smelled pretty damn good. They had a lot of really nice smelling stuff. They had a lot of like body washes, soaps, shampoos. They also had like perfumes and candles. They had a lot. They also had a lot of plush things, like stuffed animals and stuff, that were all incredibly and egregiously expensive. Like, a little badminton birdie plush was like $30, and I was like, why is this $30? I still bought it for my sister because they liked it, and I was like, oh yeah, your birthday's going up soon, dude. Say less. So I bought that. I also bought us both a bar of their raspberry soap because we love raspberry, and I don't have a picture because I used it up already. It's so good. It's such a good smelling bar of soap. I used the hell out of that. And it's dead. It's dead. It's gone. I need to buy more. It was pretty cheap. The soap was not too expensive. It was pretty cheap. It was pretty nice. And as for Waldo, he was over there selling bath bombs and stuff. You know, all the goods, all the good works of Waldo Wood. You know, so pretty solid. He wasn't too hard to find. Once we noticed, I think he was actually right by the checkout counter. So it really was not that hard at all to find. Which then takes us into shop number 16, which labeled itself as an international marketplace. And yeah, I can see why. I mean, we got a whole rundown from the guy who was at the store. Basically, like, a bunch of, like, authentic goods from, like, 30, 40 different countries and, like, spots of the world. Things were shipped there, sold there. Everything was authentic and made wherever it said it was made. That's kind of the whole pitch that we were thrown, which was really cool stuff. They had a lot of really nice stuff there. A lot of rugs. These bitches love their rugs. Let me tell you, this guy had the entire first floor was basically like some cool little knickknacks and rugs. And there were a lot of floors to this place, a lot of different rooms, different buildings and stuff. But we actually found Waldo fairly easily. Because he was right by, like, a lot of the little instruments and stuff. Sorry for all the censoring. I had to get rid of a lot of tags on the picture there. But yeah, he was next to all the little instruments that I was already kind of gonna be interested in looking at anyway. So it all kind of worked out. So he's kind of just there to say hi. Pretty cool dude. For the things we bought, there were a couple, like, little yarn doll things. I don't really know how to describe them. But it was like a little dude with like a little ball of yarn head thing that was... We saw those sort of dolls and we bought some of those years and years ago back when we lived in Brooklyn. We were out with our ma and we got like a bunch of little things. My sister got like a little devil one. I think an angel one too, but I don't remember. I don't think they had an angel one where we were. And then I got like a little spider. So and they had a spider and they had the devil one again. So they weren't exactly the same, obviously, but they were pretty close. So I got those for us, just a little reminder, like, oh, look at these, oh, I remember these, oh, they're cool. It was really nice place. Very cool, a lot of very interesting stuff. And then we move on to shop 17. And shop 17 was an art and crafts store. Not an arts and crafts store, you know, a place where you'd buy like supplies and stuff. This is an art and crafts store. They sold art, pieces of art, and they sold a whole lot of furniture, a whole lot of fairly expensive furniture. And luckily for us, Waldo was just sitting on a little counter, cabinet, shelf, there we go, right by the front of the store, so it was pretty easy for us. And I tried so hard to look for anything that I actually wanted to buy. But other than the dog we saw upstairs, because it's another place with like 2 floors, really cute, big-ass dog. He was awesome. Other than that dog, there was really nothing special or interesting about the place, for us anyway. If you were in the market for some stuff like that, like a lot of, I guess, like weird art and like pieces of furniture and like home goods stuff, you could find a lot of really nice stuff there, but for us it was not what we were searching for, so we didn't buy anything, and I felt really bad. That was the second time, and thankfully the last time we wound up empty-handed at a store. So we bought stuff from 21 stores, so I'm happy with that. I'm pretty happy with that. I felt bad. I still feel bad regardless, but I'm happy with that. And then store number 18, ladies and gentlemen. So number 18 on the list was an olive oil store. I'm not even kidding. It was a store with hundreds, and I mean hundreds, of oils to buy and even sample. Every single oil that they had. And they also had balsamic vinegars. They had vinegars and oils. Mainly oils, but they had vinegars too. It was... Every single one had like a little jar thing where you took a little cup, you turned a nozzle, some oil came out, and you sipped it, and you saw if you liked it. It was crazy. It was absolutely insane. What wasn't insane was Waldo. Mans was just chilling with the books, but you could see all those little metal pots and stuff. Those were samplers for the oils that they had, and. Some of them were actually really good. They had like an apple cider vinegar that was really, really good. I got that from my sister actually because they liked it so much. But there was a red apple balsamic that they were interested in trying as well, and they tasted it and they immediately wanted to throw it up because they said, and I quote, "It tastes like cough syrup." So with that said, I bought them the apple cider vinegar. I bought myself the red apple balsamic because I tried it and they were so right and it's so happy. I put that shit on everything now. Tastes like cough syrup. I'm so happy. Bought that. Bought a nice bottle of it, and I still have a lot of it because I mainly use it as like a dip or like a thing I kind of like drizzle onto a sandwich or something. I don't like fucking dump half of it on my sandwich. You know, I'm not that much of a menace. But it's very tasty. And this actually was the last stop for that day because my sister started feeling queasy after all the oil they tried. So I was like, yeah, fair enough. We were pretty much done anyway because we only had 2 stores, 2 restaurants, and an oddball place, a hair salon to go through. And then we would have done every single store. We would have been to every store. We did 18 at this point, which is just crazy to think. In 3 separate outings, we went to 18 different stores and liked what we saw enough to get a bunch of cool stuff. It's really cool. It was really fun. And it stayed being fun. But again, we kind of took another little hiatus. We had some other stuff going on, so we did some other stuff with our sister, and kind of we had like our birthday outings around this time. We had gone to like IHOP, went mini golfing, went to the arcade over this next couple of weeks, this couple Fridays. But then July 27th, just last Saturday, we were like, hey, let's go to some more stores, and then if we have anything left from then, we can finish it off on Monday. We didn't have to finish it off on Monday actually because this was the last day of our outings. We went to these last 5 stores and we had an absolute blast of a time doing it. Our first stop was a pretzel factory, or a pretzel store, I should say. It was like half of the building, well, a third of the building was a store with a bunch of pretzels and stuff, and then like the rest of it was a factory that was more set up for tours. It was kind of like a little, like a tour around the making of the pretzels and stuff. It was very cool. It was very interesting. And I don't believe they actually make any of the pretzels, maybe many of the pretzels at the store, except for the soft pretzels. They did have soft pretzels, but it was cool. They had a lot of nice pretzels. And Waldo was pretty easy to find. Dude was hungry for some Girl Scout Mini Thins pretzels. Just some nice stuff. Just some pretty tasty. I didn't have those. I wasn't interested. I don't like mint, so I didn't. Also, I don't even think those were their brand of pretzel. It's not the same brand at all. I don't think there is a brand on that. So I don't know whose those are. But they did have some nice pretzels though. We bought some soft pretzels that were a little too buttery, but still very tasty. And so we all each got a bunch of different pretzels. I got like a bag of like those little cheese covered pretzels with like the twists, very tasty. I also got a pretzel rod with some chocolate on it that I forgot about, and it melted, and it just kind of became like a diarrhea bag. But I still ate it because eventually it hardened again, and I was able to eat it. It was very awkward to eat, but it was very tasty. It was very good, very nice stuff. Very good place. We've been there before, so we weren't like going in blind. So it was a very positive, not plausitive. It was a very positive experience as always. In shop number 20, after the pretzel place, we walked for a little bit. And we approached the hair salon, the wild card of this whole outing, because everything else we can kind of see ourselves going to. The hair salon was a weird one, not gonna lie. But let me tell you, we walked in there. It was one of the most positive experiences of this entire trip, of this entire event, this entire outing. We met some of the nicest people from any of these stores. Probably just in general, people I've met before. They were so positive. They were so cheery. They were so happy. It was awesome. They had a beach-themed salon, which it's just crazy to even say. It was literally like they had a bunch of shells and fish and stuff just kind of like scattered around. Like they made this place look fucking crazy. It was like something out of freaking Tommy Bahama. Not Tommy Bahama. What's the guy? Who's the guy? You know the guy? You guys know him. I'm gonna stop that there. You just know the guy. Waldo was actually hiding behind a little like shell on a shelf next, just in the corner. Again, just further solidifying, just more so like proof that there was a beach-themed salon. And we went in there actually with a plan. We wanted to actually get appointments set up for some stuff. My sister wanted to do an undercut, or I guess get her undercut touched up, and I just wanted to go in there and kind of get like one of those sort of like basic like hair experiences, you know, like they wash it, they suds it, they condition it, all. It's like just a hair washing thing, you know, like the things that they do in like the shows and the movies and stuff. The basic bitch shit. It seemed fun. And let me tell you, we didn't need to do that because those people were so damn nice. They were so positive. They were so happy to just help people, because this was one of the first and rare only times we saw people actually hunting for Waldo. This day we did find more people doing that, but every other day before that I think we saw one person total looking for Waldo. From this point on, a lot of people looking for Waldo, but before that, next to nobody. So this is like, it was weird, but they were really positive. They were really happy to just show. Even us, we weren't kids doing this. We were 22, so it was a little silly, but they were more than happy to like just be like, oh hey, find Waldo, have a nice day, you know, enjoy yourself. And it was really nice, but we did set up appointments, and the appointments are actually for today. So, yeah, it's going to be pretty fun. Wish me luck. Yeah, I'm getting a deep conditioning, which is just like they're going to make my hair feel nice and soft. It's going to be fun. It's going to be cool. I'm really excited for it. I'm looking great. My sister's going to get her undercut. It's going to be awesome. So on Saturday, I don't know if it'll last that long, because it's going to be really hot in the next couple of days. I can't imagine my sweat's going to make it feel nice. But either way, it's going to feel nice. Maybe I'll take a picture so I can show you guys. I doubt it's going to look any different, but who knows? I haven't done it before. Haven't done it yet, so we'll see. It's going to be fun. It's going to be It's going to be cool and fun, that's what I meant to say. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be really fun. But yeah, so that was the end of the salon experience. And again, I cannot stress enough how positive people were. It was just really cool. And then Shop 21. At this point, we had still a couple restaurants to go to. So what we thought we were going to do is we were going to do a restaurant today, and then we'd end off this whole thing on Monday with another restaurant. But this place was actually a restaurant slash just kind of like pick up food, like it's like a heat up food and go store. It was really nice. It was very, very packed. It was like a Brazilian food place. Very packed. It was very busy, and there were a lot of people looking for Waldo, which makes sense because holy shit, they put their Waldo in a very interesting spot. Look at this goofy motherfucker just dangling from a plant, and this was like on the it was like towards the roof. He was dangling from a very high spot, just stuck in the plant. I don't know how they did that. I think this is my favorite spot that Waldo was hiding in, because I look up and I just see, like, we were already looking around in there, and we go to order, and then as we're turning away to order, we look by the door on this freaking beam with a bunch of plant on it, and oh look, Waldo's just upside down, stuck. He's probably unconscious and hanging like a prisoner. It was very funny. I don't know how they got him up there, but it was awesome to see. We got some food I honestly can't remember the name of, but it was very, very tasty. I think it was like I got like a chicken something, chicken croquet, there we go. My sister got like a shrimp croquet, and then we each got like a little dessert thing. It was really, it was good. It was very tasty food. Really nice. Shop 22, second to last, the pre-final, the semi-final store we went to. It was a yarn and craft store, mainly yarn, and we actually had already gone there
a previous day. So this is kind of like day 5, but I'm marking it as day 4 because day 4 was supposed to happen a few days earlier, but I forgot to bring the stupid pamphlet. So we didn't actually go Waldo hunting. We went to a store. We were going to go Waldo hunting at this store. And then we just went to some other stores around that we already went to. Because I felt too stupid. I felt really fucking stupid. But we found Waldo the first time. Didn't take a picture because it didn't really count in my brain. But then we went back there to actually find Waldo, and he was even easier to find this time. Broseph was just chilling in a box. Pretty easy, pretty solid, pretty straightforward stuff. It's a really nice place. A lot of stuff. It's kind of cluttered and very unorganized. But I think that was kind of like the aesthetic they were going for, which I can kind of see. It was still a very pleasant store. The people there, I had a really nice conversation with them. They were really, really nice people. And I got my sister a little like purple yarn spool that they thought was cute because they were like, it was a color they said they'd never actually worked with before. So they're like, hey, fuck it, you go for it. We'll buy it. Why not? Have a good time. Found Waldo. And we left after a really nice conversation with the 3 people that were up front. There were 3 people. It was a very small store. There were 3 people up front. They were all awesome. I remember at least 2 of their names. So, pretty surprising for me, because I usually remember 0 names. So, pretty nice. Pretty solid. And this moves us on to the final store. Shop number 23. And I honestly couldn't believe it. And this was the actual restaurant of the place, which is why we saved it for last. It was a really nice restaurant, and they mentioned specifically in the little thing that Waldo was in the foyer, like the main hall or the main room of it. So you didn't have to eat and then be walked to a table and then you'd find Waldo. So, people can just go in there, find Waldo, and if they wanted to stay, they could. And yeah, he was pretty obvious. He was just chilling in a plant in the foyer. But we still wanted to, eat because I wanted to make sure that we did everything, and so did my sister. We wanted to get some stuff as long as we enjoyed what we saw. They were a lot more reasonable about it. I wanted to just encourage getting something no matter what. They were like, if we like something, then we can buy something, sure. They were a lot more reasonable with it. I was just wanting to support them blindly. But yeah, I wanted to get their food anyway because while we were waiting for a table, we looked at a little menu, and they had tomato bisque, which sounded delicious, and it was not too expensive, and I was just oogling it and I was fantasizing about it the entire time waiting for a table, only for them to say they didn't have any tables available inside, but outside they might if you wanted to go check. So I was like, oh, okay. So technically speaking, we could have gotten away without even eating there. We got the Waldo signature already. We could have just fucking dipped. But we decided to dip our toes into the restaurant. And let me tell you, such a good idea. It was so good. I got their bisque. I got some fries for us both. Sister got a salad and also a little bit of the bisque because they wanted to see if it was as good as I was making it sound, even though I didn't even try it yet. And let me tell you, everything was so fucking delicious. The fries came with a bunch of different sauces that were all delicious. They all kind of tasted the same, but they were all very tasty regardless. The fries were really good. The tomato bisque was so good. They had croutons and like cheese all in it. I eventually put some fries and some of the sauces in there to just really it was delicious. It was amazing. It was like it was so good. It was like an upgraded tomato soup. It kind of tasted like Totino's pizza rolls in the insides of them, but just in a bowl. It was delicious. I don't know how else to describe it other than that, but in a good way, obviously. It was so good. I will say, the second half of our meal was interrupted by a wasp or two that were kind of just lingering around a plant that we were eating next to, because again, we were outside, and it was hot. So, there was a wasp just kind of harassing us. Not really harassing us, but kind of just being there in our presence, which was kind of a harassment in a sense. But yeah, we finished our food. We had such a nice, lovely time. It was a really, really funny day. It was a really funny outing. I can't remember exactly why, but I remember having a lot of stupid laughs. But it was a really good time. It was really fun. I still have a menu from that place actually, because I wanted to make sure I brought something else. And we asked if they wanted the menu back. It was just like a piece of paper. Like, oh, you can hand it to us, throw it away, keep it, whatever you want to do. I'm like, oh, dude, I'm fucking keeping it, and I did, and it's awesome. I didn't take pictures of the food again,
because I'm an idiot and I forget to do that. I didn't take pictures of any of the other food. I took pictures of the burrito after I already halfway ate through one of the fucking halves. Sue me. But at this point, we had to go back to bonus surprise shop number 24. Which, it wasn't anything crazy. It was back to the bookstore because we needed to cash in our ticket. But also, we need to find Waldo there. Because again, if you remember, we only found the medal. There was a medal and a Waldo at the bookstore. So we needed to find the Waldo. Which took us much longer than it should have. I figured it wouldn't be next to the medal. So I didn't look in the children's section. I looked everywhere else. Didn't find him. My sister was like, did you check the children's section? And I was like, nope, because the medal's already there. And they went to check, and lo and behold, Waldo and his saucy-ass leg, his scandalous-ass leg, was sticking out behind a book back there. Which is just messed up. Like, if you're gonna do it, you know, maybe have him, like, actually showing up. Like, this is the most kind of, like, messed up zone I've seen Waldo in this entire thing, because he wasn't really showing at all. He saw his leg, you're like, hey. Like, I think it's funny, but also I was like, oh, come on, man. Why are you doing this to me? I was looking for like 15 minutes and you're just hiding behind. You didn't even show him. You know, but it was fun. It was fun. It was really cool. It was just, I felt really stupid, but also I felt kind of justified that I didn't expect him to be there. At first I didn't expect him to be there, so I didn't even look. And then I would have never seen that, because I'm not nearly as astute as they are. But yeah, we found Waldo. We found the 24th and final Waldo in our area. We had done it. We found every Waldo, which was just kind of insane. Sorry. And so basically how the reward system worked was after 15, you got like a little coupon for a Waldo book, and you know, you kind of felt good. You know, you found a lot of the Waldos. But if you found every single last one, so 24 total, you could hand in your passport and get put into like a raffle for a bunch of free Waldo books and stuff. And at that point, I was told this, and they were like, "Hey, see, I just signed the back, and then we'll enter you in for the raffle." And I was like, "Wait, but I can't keep it?" And they're like, "No, we have to hand it in to like put you into the raffle." But I mean, if you want, you can keep it. You just won't get put into the raffle. And I look at my sister, and I'm like, I'm like, do we really like the prize? You know, the thing that probably most people were doing it for. Or like, I was like, oh man, the reward at the end, you know. But ultimately, I decided that I'd rather have the passport than the books, because let's face it, what am I going to do with those Waldo books? I'd rather them go to a kid who would actually enjoy them, or a person who would give the books to people, or like into a library or something. I'd rather the books go somewhere where they'd actually be used. I didn't need. I for sure would have won that whole thing. By the way, definitely would have. There's no way. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I would have won the raffle, and I'd feel bad. But I'd rather just have the passport to sort of remind me of this whole journey that me and my sister took. We had a really, really lovely time doing this, and I thought that physical sort of memorabilia and like little token to take away from it all was more important than the actual prize I could have won. So I took it, and I still have it, actually. It's right here. You can hear it. It's kind of like it's just a little folded piece of paper with a bunch of signatures and store names on it. So I'm not going to show you it, but it's one of the things that I gotta say really makes me feel at home here, because it's been a few years. I mean, we moved out here in July of 2020, 4 years ago at this point, and we just finished high school at that time. So I basically have lived my entire adult life as of this point here. I mean, I took a year in upstate New York for college, but other than that, it's basically just been here. And I never really felt like I found somewhere that I clicked with, I belonged. You know, I never really felt like this place made a whole lot of sense for me to be. You know, I missed the city a lot. But after doing this and like actually going around our neighborhood and seeing just exactly what they had to offer, going to these stores that I never went into before, just meeting store owners and people that were just really friendly and really nice, and also having the opportunity during that time to go back to Brooklyn and just see the people I'd missed, see the stuff I'd missed. It made me realize that here is not bad. Here is not bad. It's not bad at all. It's actually really nice. It's a really nice place with a lot of really cool stuff, and I wouldn't have a whole lot of experiences that I have if I was just back at home in Brooklyn. So, well, back in Brooklyn. I love this place. It's really cool, and this just seals the deal. And I'm looking forward to doing this next year because it's apparently a yearly thing, and apparently a bunch of places do this, which is just awesome. So next time around, if you guys are bored and like scavenger hunts and looking for stuff to do around your local neighborhood, town, city, whatever it may be, see if they're doing a Waldo hunt, and just enjoy. Just go with your friends, your family, or whoever. Just go on your own if you want. Look around for some Waldo and have a really good time. And if you can, buy something, because again, shop local. Fully support that message. So with that, that's about all I have for you guys today. If any of y'all have done any of this Waldo stuff in a town near you, let me know about it, because honestly, this is a lot of fun, and I can only imagine the years before were even more fun, and I'm sure the years to come are going to be even more fun than the year that I've just had. But this is a lot of fun, so it's gonna have to top it quite substantially. Either way, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.